Hello Virgo friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Virgo January 2024 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. This is for you if Virgo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Virgo placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Virgo friend, so birthdays like September 15th through the rest of the sign, or Virgo placements 23 degrees or so through the rest of the sign, then I suggest you additionally listen to my Labor report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. I'm calling the theme of this month for Virgo, Upgrade and Uplift, and we will talk about all of the reasons why. I'm going to flash the chart that I'm going to use on the screen so that those of you who are interested in having the visual, I will refer back to it periodically for those of you interested. I know some of you are like me, are visual learners, and some of you, when you see the chart, you want to run screaming. So in an effort to try to cater to the very diverse range of viewers that I have or listeners, I'm going to do a little bit of both. So if you're on the podcast version, you can go to YouTube if you want the visuals. If you don't like the visuals, you can listen. You can just look for Astro Kisses with Annie Botticelli and find the podcast syndicated version. What I'm going to talk about here is mostly Virgo specific things. And I have a sister recording for this month called January 2024 Wolf Moon Mischief that I suggest you additionally listen to or watch. That will help you to have more fullness from the general transit perspective. So that will be linked in the notes underneath the podcast or video and will be in the playlist at the end of this video on YouTube. Okay, so let's talk about the upgrading and uplifting of Virgo at this time and why I'm saying that. The first thing that I want to show you, if you're looking at the visual of the chart, look at the bottom of the chart in the fourth house. The houses in astrology are fields of experience that we have as humans. I love them because they're unifying factors that show us experiences that are shared for humans. This is something that we get to all go through together, our own version of it being different. So everyone has these fields of experience. So if you're looking at the chart, look at the yellow circle in the center, 1 through 12. Those are denoting the 12 houses that correspond with the 12 signs. The fourth house down there at the bottom is the house of home and family and real estate and housing and childhood psychology that affects your experience in your adult relationships. So things that may have happened to you as a child that are affecting how you experience relationships now. All of those energies are being lit up very brightly. They have been in December, and one thing that's notable about this month is that the Sagittarius party continues. So Venus, Ceres, Mercury, Mars all start out the month in Sagittarius. What's good about that is that these Sag energies are uplifting. They're fiery, they're celebratory, they're expansive, they're broadening, they're creative solution oriented, they're focused on education and upliftment. And so from that perspective, all of the signs are having the benefits of extra Sagittarius energy for uplifting and upgrading. But we'll have more layers of this for Virgo, which I'll cycle in here as we move along. Now, this is an amazing time for learning and for teaching, for helping others with what you know, and for taking your offerings or your life to the next level through broadening experiences, whether it's education or long distance travel or learning a language or engaging with people in different cultures or international business. It's very it's very open and flexible. And like I said, it's buoyant, it uplifts. Now, specifically for Virgo, this energy accentuates your fourth house. So expect that energy to be brought to your home and family. Now, one other layer to know here is that these are all squares. Okay, squares are points of pressure. Points of pressure don't have to be something bad. They can just be the work it takes to get somewhere. Like, let's say you're planning a vacation. Anyone who's the vacation planner in the family or for yourself, you know that those details are tedious and it involves focus and it involves work, but then you have the beautiful trip and it's worth it, right? So this pressure point, this square, represents the work that it takes to accomplish something. So if you have these big lofty goals for home and family, if you're moving house, if you're making a big purchase, if you're expecting a new addition to your family, whatever is going on in that home family sector or real estate sector, there may be some work involved. So the pressure points are showing that the focus is here. Okay, so you're not going to get around that at this time. And it will take some work, but you can create some magical things. And you can uplift people in your family with this energy and upgrade. And you can be upgraded and uplifted by connections with your family and your home space. This can have to do with working from home. This can have to do with home-based businesses. There's really no limit to all of the things related to home that this can be. Home, like childhood psychology based lines of work, whatever you can think of that ties into these energetics are very, very strong for Virgos at this time. And it's giving you a chance to push through, like to crack through the matrix that could be holding you back into your next uplifted and upgraded, really up-leveled experience. Now, as those Sagittarius energies very quickly will start to shift into Capricorn, we already have the sun there. If you're looking at the chart, look at the 5th house, you'll see the sun, the circle with a dot in it there. As, this is for the beginning of the month, so as the month progresses, the chart we're looking at is static, but we have to add in the movement. So the movement happens as the days progress and the planets progress. So Mars gets there, Mercury gets there, Venus gets there, and then the new moon gets there. So what does that mean? Specifically for Virgos, that means a crap load of trines, okay? Trines are the most favorable aspect in all of astrology. It's when elements of the same, or signs of the same element are getting together in a meaningful mathematical configuration that brings coherence and beautiful outcomes. So all of those things that I listed that will be in Capricorn will be making trine energies for your Virgo placement. So this is a time of material fulfillment, of practical accomplishment. This is a time for anything having to do with finances and employment and work and career. But at the same time, all of that energy, specifically for Virgo, lights up your house of creative expression and children and dating and, creativity and you being in the limelight. Unless you're on the cusp there, like one of my besties, and I know you're listening in there, Juliet, if you're on the line there from Leo to Virgo, you have that zesty Leo flair that likes to be in the center of everything and have, being on center stage. But a lot of Virgos who don't have that Leo energy, they're not trying to be in center stage. So this might be a time where you may still find yourself on center stage and you may have to own the fact that you need to be there. Okay, so something wants to be accomplished from a creative perspective for you. And this can also just have to do with actual pure fun. Now, it's kind of a little bit comical that one of the houses of fun in the chart for Virgos is represented by Earth energy. So for Virgos to have fun, they have to be accomplishing something. So this is just kind of a cute, endearing thing about Earth signs is that when they're being creative, a lot of times, if it's not physically resulting in something tangible, they won't feel like it's as fun. So like art for the sake of itself without producing anything doesn't feel as fun to a Virgo as it would if you have something tangible at the end of that creativity session. So like singing for the sake of it may be fun, but if you didn't record it and can't then replay it, then it doesn't feel as fun for a Virgo. So accomplished artistic expression and output is very much what this month is about. Your ambitions will be raised, and it's very much about this upgrading and up-leveling and uplifting. Something else that's making everything more effervescent at this time is in the days just before the new year, which is before January started, Jupiter went direct. So Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, which is all these planets that I told you about in the beginning, also for Virgo, transits through your 9th house of Sagittarius. So if you're looking at the chart, look at the 9th house up at the top. There's a glyph that looks like a fancy 4. That's Jupiter. Jupiter has been asleep, bringing its benevolence and its expansion, inward and in the backdrop since September, and now it's going forward. So immigration things, other kinds of, languages and publishing and writing and teaching and helping others and altruistic, endeavors. All of those things may have been kind of pushed into the backdrop. But now, as of, December, they're getting woken up, and in January, they're getting it back in rare, form. So Jupiter waking up is bringing those bigger visions alive. For when Jupiter is retrograde, it's really hard to just see what it's all about and what it's all for and, the bigger picture and to connect with those bigger dreams and visions and goals. But this month, you're going to have that wake up. okay? So you can see your creativity on a plan, like the plan for it is going to be a little bit more clear. And since Mercury goes direct on January 1st, after some chaos of the initial turnaround, every day we march into January, we'll have more coherence and easier time having clarity and planning and scheduling, and by the 21st, it's completely clear. So your big things, your big plans, things are going to be easier to do towards the end of the month. But either way, Jupiter is waking up, and from now until May, as it's blazing forward through your 9th house, you're going to have full support and benevolence and optimism and luck in the house of Sagittarius, which rules the education and the international things. So, there's a lot waking up at this time. One date of note is January 11th. We have the new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees. So all Virgos can benefit from this new moon in the days around January 11th. But the closer to 20 degrees, the more you'll get a kiss from that new moon. So we'll say 15 to 25 degrees to have a 5-degree orb in either direction. So that's going to be like September 5th through 15th, and the closer to around September 10th, the more you'll get the kiss from that new moon. But don't worry, everyone has access to it and it's usable, but you might feel it more personally if you're in that group. I'm going to breeze through another couple of dates, but if you are a person that enjoys the dates and what may happen on them and seeing my sweet and salty list, you will love my write-up for each month that I put out 1 month early. And you can connect with that at anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in right there. When you get the welcome letter, which may be in spam or social folders, then you can click into the archives and you can find, the November astrology, December astrology, January astrology. January will be there at the end of November. And all of my other astrology education mailings. And I don't send out a bunch of stuff, just about once a week. And it's all full of content that will help you navigate the starry possibilities. But if you like the dates is the point, then you will want to sign up there because you'll get a written version of this. I'm just going to breeze through a couple more dates. So in the days around January 25th, big boom, watch out for Wolf Moon Mischief. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about this because I have it in the January 2024 Wolf Moon Mischief report that is for all signs. Definitely see the notes underneath the video or podcast and look at the playlist at the end of YouTube to connect in with that video because that's going to fill in a lot of points that you need to know about this month in addition to what you're listening to here. But I have to issue the hide under a rock warning. I don't like to do it. I only do it when I have to. I did it in October and we see why. October was very messy. And this isn't going to be, there are a lot more factors that were happening in October than there are now, but this is a pretty nasty aspect, okay? So the full moon in Leo is going to be at 5 degrees, conjunct Pluto, Chiron and Mars square. Pretty scary. Okay, now don't be afraid, just be aware and be careful and awareful. And if you can hide under a rock, do that. If you can't, just use your intuition to help guide you around the energy. Don't be reckless. If you're not in a safe space, get in a safe space if you can. It's pretty stressful. There could still be some beautiful things that happen too because, these transit energies are like little wave, they're like cold and warm currents in the ocean. If you've ever been at the beach and you feel like, oh, your foot's in a cold section and oh, you're in a warmer section where your arm is or whatever. These currents move together and they cross and they move, right? So we could have a dicey patch like this is moving at the same time in the same space as a different patch. So we've got several beautiful aspects between the 27th and 28th that really light things up, and hopefully we'll make lemonade out of any lemons that come at this point. But I just wanted you to be aware of that. And you can get more details about those aspects in that January report, but also in the write-up at anniehelpsyou.com. As the planets start to move into Aquarius, which starts with the sun on January 21st, this starts to accentuate the 6th house for Virgos. So this is your health and healing and wellness. This is your pets and animals. This is your daily work, what you do every day, your environment, whether it's work or home or office or yoga or wherever you're at, your disciplines, your supplements and your diet and all of that. The sun starts to brighten that section, giving you new opportunities. And as of the end of the month, we're in that open period free from personal planet retrogrades. So if you're looking for big launches and big decisions and things that require zest and forward movement and motion, starting around January 21st, you're going to have a lot more oomph to whatever you put out into the world. Okay, so go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, put in your name and email address. You can also find there my Secret Star portal, which is my exclusive content portal. If you've been engaging with my work for a while and you want to look, to have more content and archives of 18 months and growing, my written horoscopes, all of that's there. If you are looking for a way to exchange energetically with me, I do all of this work for free. I don't expect anything in response, and most people will just receive the free things, and that's totally fine with me. But I do have people ask me sometimes, how can I give back? You can subscribe to that portal for a nominal amount, and you can get more goodies and, send some love my way. Also, if you want to study astrology, you'll see my Astrology Basics and Beyond course, and you'll see my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course. It's a certification course where I can teach you how to do astrology for yourself, help other people, and earn money from it. Okay, so you can see all that at AnnieHelpsYou.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.